Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Danno and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. If you have to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. We have a lot to talk about today, guys. We're going to get right into it. So, have you been to Walmart lately? Have you been to Target? Maybe Costco? Have you been to Trader Joe's? Have you been to Aldi? Well, I don't know if Aldi's included. Have you been to HEB? Have you been to Kroger? Have you been to Albertsons? If you have, you may notice a lot of empty shelves. And I'll tell you what, that becomes a stern reality when you go to the store and you're like, wow, what is going on here? Where's all this stuff at? Oh, yes, a massive recall. A massive recall on Bruce Pack that we have continued to say is going to get bigger and bigger. And sure enough, it has. Almost 12 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken, beef, and poultry. And we're going to discuss this a little bit because I think when you look at the big picture of this, it's a lot bigger than I think a lot of people realize at first. You got to kind of take in what this all means. Well, it's a lot of things, a lot of different ready-to-eat meats that are in like some microwave meals, that are in some of our salads with like chicken, pre-made chicken, right? Where you just have like a couple few pieces, might weigh like, a quarter ounce or half ounce of chicken, right? Or some different beef that might have like a few pieces in it. When you add all that up and you say 12 million pounds, it becomes a lot bigger. Because we're not talking about all the other fillers and everything in some of these meals, like said lettuce, different noodles, these kind of things. These things are not included in that weight. We're talking about the weight that the companies would buy, that would add to their products. This is a mess, guys. This is an absolute mess. And who knew? I mean, can I say, I'm not shocked. Okay, I'm not shocked. We saw what has happened with so many different companies with all of these different things, right? We've seen with Boar's Head how it went from a liverwurst to where it had spread to other meats. This is all listeria. This is all of possible listeria contamination. Now, let's not forget. Now, I haven't seen any updates of hospitalizations or deaths on the Boar's Head meats, but there are 10 deaths from several different states linked to the Boar's Head listeria contamination. 10 deaths. Now that it hasn't grown, and I think 59 hospitalizations. That number kind of gets tossed around a little bit though, because I've seen in articles, I've seen 59 hospitalizations, I've seen 65 hospitalizations. Either way, that's a lot of people going to the hospital for something like listeria, because what happens is most people don't even know they have it. Right? Most people don't even know. So you may feel a little icky. I feel a little congested right now. Right? I don't know what it is. We've been cleaning for the last couple of days. It could be a bunch of dust. Right? It could be stress. Stress going out and doing all these videos. However, I want to show you guys something here real quick. Okay? Now, you might not be able to see that. Now, one of our viewers did this. This is a 3D print of me and Jessica. And you can see on the back here. That's it right there, okay? This is the 3D print side. So what happens is when you put this in the light, this comes out on this side. I don't have a flashlight or anything. I don't even think it would come through in the camera. But this was very thoughtful. It says Adventures with Danno down there. Of course, it's going to... Right there. Yeah. I mean, this is what it looks like when you shine light on it. It looks better when you shine the light on this side, but very thoughtful. Thank you for that. And he had emailed me, and I always, I was so thankful, and I was like, thank you so much for that. I hate to tell you, it broke, right? It came in the mail, broke, right? And he sent us another one, and I said, thank you so much, and he sent us another one in a box, a sealed box and everything. And me and Jessica just really love this, and we really wanted to thank you so much for that. And any fan mail or you guys ever want to send us, we do have a P.O. box. It's pretty easy to remember. I do have it in the description box below if ever you want to check that out. our P.O. box. We love getting fan mail. And yes, me and Jessica are doing the Christmas cards again this year. So if you now, we do get a bit overwhelmed. We do kind of, we're going to send out as many as we can. So if you send us, it's kind of a send us a card, we send you a card. And, we usually get to about like 200. So over 200, it's kind of hard to get them out anymore, but we send it for the first 200. We usually send up to 200. We also had another viewer who had sent us a bunch of stickers, right? I don't like saying names on here in case you don't want me to, but sent us a bunch of stickers, return stickers with our P.O. box and all that on there. And, that was very thoughtful of you. She actually made out these different stickers so it would be easy to, send out because we used to just write out our address, but as our channel grew, a lot more people were sending Christmas cards, but worry about that later. I just wanted to mention that since we were talking about this. Thank you so much for this gift, though. Me and Jessica really love it. But anyway, back to what's going on here. These things... We've been dealing with so many different recalls. I read an article from USA Today yesterday where they were talking about how are we seeing recalls like this every day. And there are things that, I read in that I don't really want to talk about on here because I don't necessarily believe them, and unless it's 100% fact, I don't usually like to talk about them. But part of it talks about how a lot of these different things, a lot of new ways of searching for different items or different things, different contaminations and stuff like that. And I don't know. It just, how is it any different than it's ever been? Right? That's kind of the question I ask. Like, if they're doing the labs and everything to a T, testing all of this stuff before it is sent out, right? That's the problem. Is that it's like, well, if you were testing it on a rigorous basis before you sent it out, and I think that is part of the real problem is that it's not being tested as much as it used to be. Excuse me. A lot of these things are not being tested rigorously like they used to be. And things are popping up. Once a handful of... to me, the big thing, right, is, hospitalizations. There's something to track on this. But we have deaths that have occurred. Okay, now it's getting serious. Now people are reading about it. Now people are seeing it. Right? Now we're getting hundreds and hundreds of comments. Danno, I just went to Walmart. There's no market sign salads with the chicken in them. There's no Santa Fe salads. There's here at Trader Joe's, here at, all these other stores that are affected. Target, Good and Gather brands, all of these other ones. And I'm getting comments, I'm getting emails from hundreds of you guys right now. And it's like, well, now people are starting to notice. And now that people are starting to notice and it's getting bigger, now we're starting to see it on mainstream media. Where was the mainstream media when this first started? We didn't hear anything about Boar's Head on TV weeks later. Sometimes I felt like we here on our channel were the only ones talking about it. Maybe not, but I mean, I literally try to search this stuff and I don't find anybody else talking about it. It's like, this is something that can be really serious and nobody seems to care. And now here we are in a situation where we have thousands, literally thousands of products, maybe more, because it's going to get bigger. It keeps getting bigger. Just like we said last Wednesday, okay? We said, or Wednesday before last. Boy, these things just carry over so much. I've been covering it so much that it feels like just yesterday that we were reading all of these articles that had no idea what it was, but they wanted to put it out there first. You have all these news things. It's like, ooh, there's a huge recall, but we're not sure if it's this company, so we can't say it, right? Say it. Like, you could have helped maybe hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people from buying this product, maybe before the store had time to put it away or to get rid of it, right? Well, now, because we saw a lot of these products, as I did when I went to Walmart. I didn't know what products it was. I didn't know what they were. And they were full on the shelves. I don't know if it was specific, right? But as we know, specific by those specific brands that are on the recall. But now when you go to Walmart, look for those little market side salads or some of those different frozen chicken ones that are on recall. We're not going to go in detail in this video. You know, USDA recall list, check that out. Anything, I don't want to expand it this far out, but I would say any frozen item that you think may be affected with Bruce Pack, Bruce, and it's Bruce, like the name Bruce Almighty, okay? Just think Bruce, and then Pack, but it's capital P-A-C. It's one word, Bruce Pack, with a capital P-A-C, Bruce Pack. So if it is made by that company, I don't care what it is, at least don't eat it right now. Wait until this kind of... I hope it doesn't, but wait until we find out everything involved. Now we have a massive recall on waffles, right? We went over that the other day because of listeria. Now, for listeria thrives in frozen items. We've seen listeria in ice cream over the years. And I actually just read, I'm not sure what ice cream it is. It's a popular brand ice cream, but I literally just read about it. They were talking about some kind of thing with their ice cream now that keeps listeria out of it. I don't know. It's a thing. You see these things, you hear these things. There's no research behind that. And you guys know that I like to do as much research as possible before we talk about some of these things. But it's not a year ago. It's not a year ago. Most of you guys remember a year ago when I was holding back even on the cantaloupe because I don't like talking about things unless there's been solid facts. And now I'm realizing that could be too late. It could be too late. The salmonella had spread through the cantaloupes a year ago, and how long did that last? 6 months? How long did people care? 30 minutes, maybe? I'm not saying that for everybody. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's good in a way that these products, every store you go to right now, you're seeing some of your favorite items that you buy on an everyday basis missing. It's good that you see that, and it's good that you're asking questions. Now, if you're watching this channel, well, then you have some of the answers. If you're not, then people are probably begging the question because the media is covering this, okay? They are, but not at the rate that they should be. It should be all over the news. It only took about 1.5 years or 2 years for the mainstream to start talking about inflation and how it does. Oh yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. Oh, inflation doesn't affect the grocery stores. It absolutely does. The numbers don't, because for some reason the numbers don't factor into food, but they do. They do. Gas prices, transportation, employees paying higher prices, everybody paying higher prices on their homes, their insurance. My insurance went up 50%. Now, we've talked about this. We have covered this as well. Oh, boy, it hurts the brain sometimes. Let's take a sip of this coffee. That's right, I got the good old Pike's Place. Sorry, didn't mean to yell that one. A couple people arguing about my Pike's Place coffee. Sorry you don't like it, but I do. We go back, okay, let's wind the clock back a year, okay? We go into with some serious issues, okay? Like, back to what I was saying for just a second, but we're gonna wind the clocks back, but I just remembered to cover this. There's so much, guys, so much. But if you remember, 2 years, about 1.5 years, 2 years, we were going into grocery stores and finding prices nearly double. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody. It took like a year of us going around like, hey, these Ritz crackers doubled. Does anybody care? Nobody really seemed to. I think it could be part of that out of sight, out of mind thing. If you don't buy this product, you don't notice. But I was noticing it on everything. And as our channel grew and grew and grew, we were finding that people were looking for certain items. We were finding shortages on items. Things have sparked, with the Ukraine and Russia thing, added some effect to like some different products that were coming in. But it was mostly what had happened about 4 years ago. Almost 5 years ago. And the effects of that, as we had all shut down, the effects of that didn't start taking effect until 6, 7, 8 months later, which we said. We were talking about that. We were like, stock up on this now because prices are about to explode. Prices are about to go through the roof. I sounded so much like a broken record. I would say that like 10 times throughout one of our videos. Oh, Jackie asked about this flower here, or Shirley asked about this here. Terry asked about this here. And I'm just saying, so we were checking these things. Things that were $2.99 shot up to $3.49, like almost instantly. We were covering these things, but better get it now, because with this going on and this happening, this is about to go up another $1. I was nailing these prices. I knew what was happening before it was even going to happen. I was kind of gauging it off of the gas prices as well. Now, gas prices had come down a little bit. Of course, we have a few weeks till, Election day. I have a feeling no matter who becomes president, gas prices are going back up, guys. Fill up your tanks. Make sure you're keeping them full. And yes, go out and vote. Make sure you vote. I know a lot of our viewers already have. I like to vote on the day of voting. I go out on the specific day, and I vote on that day. I like to be out there on that day. I don't know. I've never been one to cast I know there's nothing wrong with it, but I've never been one to cast my ballot early or anything like that. I like making sure that my vote is 100% in there and good. Not saying others aren't. I don't know. It's just, maybe I'm old school. I don't know. But I like going to where I have to go and do my vote. Make sure you go out and vote. And it's our civic duty. That is our civic responsibility, and we all need to make sure we vote. So if you're watching this, yes, make sure you vote on voting day. But anyway, these things, and this kind of why I mention these things. I never really talk about politics or anything like that, but I've seen things kind of level off here for a second, and I tend to forget that, oh, yeah, that's right, we have an election coming up here in a couple weeks. Prices are going to be going up, guys. They're going to be going up. Even this has not held back coffee prices, and we see how much that has gone up already. Believe me, guys, I am trying to find the deals. I know I've gotten some comments on Folgers, and it's why I always say buy up the sales as you see them, so that we don't get, 40, 50 people on here. And that's okay. That's okay. All right, let me say that. If we get 40 or 50 people on here like, I can't believe Folgers went up another $2 a can. I wish I'd have bought it a week ago. That's why we always say this. Why I don't even mind sounding like a broken record anymore. Because we knew this was going to happen. We've been talking about it since the beginning of summer. I've been saying for a long time, I said coffee prices are going to be going up through the summertime here, right? But they're going to really skyrocket in the fall. Just kind of been calculating things, trends that we've seen in stores, things that you guys talk about, things where we kind of know just from doing this for so long how things are going to happen. Sometimes I don't even know, guys, to be honest. Sometimes I don't even know. I'm in and out of the store so much, checking all these things, making sure, like, hey, look at this deal at Kroger, get it now, I just get a feel for it, It's kind of like, it's kind of like a game in a way, because I see how things piggyback off another, and I always felt like I could have been a really good salesperson. I really do. I feel like I could have been a very good, you know, I always talk about how these salespeople and stuff, how the trickery in the stores. No, they trick the mind, they trick the eyes. The words can't be tricked, or then they would have to abide by that, and they would have to do whatever the words say. Believe me, they want to. How can I make you think that you need to buy this without saying you have to buy this to buy this? Right? How can I word that? Kroger does it perfectly. Meijer is starting to do it too. Another reason why I'm kind of frustrated with Meijer. I always kind of looked at Meijer, especially the groceries, and I still do in a way, right? Where you actually have real butchers now at Meijer, still, right? And I love Meijer, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the outside in with Meijer, all of the logistics and the money and all this other stuff going into all of their advertising, it's very similar to Kroger, but in some ways it's even more tricky. Because on things that you should explain, you're not explaining. I don't like that. At least Kroger explains exactly what it is. And it is there in front of your face. We've seen where Meijer has added words lately because of the confusion. Because people, and probably because it's causing craziness at the cashiers. Right? Because even the cashiers don't even know what's going on. They don't. Half the time, they don't know what the sale is. They, you know, buy 5 and save 5. Well, yeah, that sounds like multiples of 5, don't it? Used to be. Well, now I guess it's kind of like Kroger, but they still keep the wording the same. Keeping you in confusion, making you think that you have to buy 5 of the same thing. Now, some people, you know, go over that, or they just don't buy it. And then what happens? What they really want you to do. You're at the store, you spent the gas to get there, overpay for what you really want. Smart advertising. It really is. The unfortunate thing is people that catch on to these kind of things are talking about these all the time. And the more and more people talk about it, well, I guess you better come out with some deals, right? And be upfront and honest about them. So old Danno here is going to point the finger at you. You can find great deals at both stores, Kroger and Meijer. The only reason why I compare the two is because I see very similar. I see Meijer kind of piggybacking off of what Kroger is doing right now. And the Kroger, I'll still call it trickery because that is what it is. It may not be in the words like some of you have mentioned. But it is in the eyes, it's in the brain, the color coding, everything that you're not thinking of is definitely working in their favor. Some people not, because you're either looking at it to stock up on these items as you go along, like we talk about, which honestly is a smart thing to do, something that you are going to use in the future where you're saving a couple dollars per item. That's a smart way to shop. That's the way we shop. That might not be the way you shop. You might go in there and become overwhelmed like, I don't want to buy 5 or more of these products. I completely understand. Completely understand. I don't think you should have to. But that's the way they do it. That's the way they do it because, in a way, for those people who are going in there and just frustrated with it all, I'm just going to get the few items that I want. So you paid $25 for a roast. You paid $4 for a gallon of milk, or $2.79 at Kroger around here. You know, you're just... And then it's like you're overpaying. But that just a little bit of overpaying works out in their benefit. Way more than if you were to actually just go in there and shop the sales. Kroger doesn't make a lot of money when they're selling cans of Progresso soup for $1.29 a can. Buy 8 of them, right? I think that goes on through today. Or no, today's Monday. You guys will be seeing this video tonight. So that will go on through Tuesday, tomorrow, the 22nd. I think is the last day for that. But 8 cans or more of Progresso soup, $1.29 a can. That is like the 4th or 5th time I've said that within a week. That is the last time I'm going to mention that deal. And the Campbell's. Most of the ones, if not all, are the ones that are $1.89 a can are on the buy 5, mix and match, get them for 99 cents each. Even if you were to just buy 5 of those, then you just saved $5. You're only paying $1 a can. 99 cents a can. But there's a lot of those deals at Kroger that are 99 cents. Okay? You have to search for them, right? They're not all in the ad. But you got Barilla pasta that is on that deal. Get comments about Barilla pasta all the time. And rightfully so. It's good quality. But guys, I know this video has kind of been all over the place. I just kind of wanted to sit here and chat about some of these issues going on. Kind of wanted to get some of this off my chest. It's, I've seen it. I know I haven't talked about it. But there were some people talking about it at Sam's Club who knew us from the channel. There were people who talked the other day when I went to Kroger. Some people were talking about the Bruce Pack thing. Now, I don't believe there's any at Sam's Club. I know there was one at Costco, I believe. I haven't even... There's so many stores affected. Just make sure that you are checking for the different recalls of any of the different Bruce Pack products. You can look up the USDA recall list website, right? You could literally look up Google food recalls, and the first thing that's going to pop up is either the waffles or the Bruce Pack products, right? USA Today, that's part of the reason why I like reading through them, because there's usually a whole list of the stores, whole list of... Now, it's too big for them, guys. It is too big. It's like 340-something pages that they had sent, I guess, to the FDA. So, is that all recalls? No, probably not. It might be. I mean, looking through the list, it is massive. It is massive. I don't know if it's that many pages of just recalls, but there are a lot affected. And, they put it in the USA Today and pretty much any news article that I've read on any of this with links. So as you read through these, and I trust the links that USA Today puts up, and some other ones like Newsweek, Food Safety News, some of these other ones. But you can literally read through these and then click on that recall list, which they will have in blue, right, on your computer, which is considered a link. You can go right to it from that. Plus, you can read anything else that any of these news articles have to say about it. And we're going to continue to keep you updated on this, but I needed to kind of take a step back from the computer as it was starting to really rack my brain and just kind of talk to you guys about some of these things. Because... yes, I have a feeling it's going to continue growing. Yes, I know thousands of our viewers are going to the store right now and noticing that a lot of your products are missing. That's why. You're going to be seeing a lot of frozen waffles missing. They're going to be gone. Store brands seem to be the most affected. Great Value, Good and Gather. Kroger brand of Simple Truth, I believe, is affected. And again... a lot of these are just kind of spilled out, but a lot of them, like with the Bruce Pack, Kroger, Albertsons, a lot of these have been added to the list over the last couple days. They keep building this like every couple days. That's why I'm saying, like, some of these microwave meals, like Michelina's is affected, right? That's a big one. That's a cheap meal. That's one, if you're living day to day, week to week, I'm sure Michelina's is one that a lot of people buy. Banquet meals. I don't think Banquet's affected. I haven't seen it. I do check for some of the cheaper meals of these, though, because I know a lot of people, if you're just barely getting by, even if you're not barely getting by, if you just like Michelina's and you like filling up your deep freezer with Michelina's meals, I'm talking to you too. Okay? I'm talking to you too. And no judgment here, guys. No judgment. I don't care if you cook yourself. If that's what you do, stock up on frozen meals. I point out everything. I point out all the deals, all the sales, healthy choice to making your own healthy meals for whatever. Not everybody lives life the same way. I'm letting you know right now what I'm doing. Tonight, I'm making a huge pot of vegetable soup. I'm going to cook everything slow. We're going to let it slow cook all day. It's going to fill our home with wonderful smells of beef vegetable soup. Most of you have been on the channel for a while, have probably actually watched our video on that. It is absolutely delicious, but I'm making a big stock pot of it. Then we're going to put them all in containers, freeze some, put some in the fridge. We're going to have vegetable soup for lunch for the next week. And yeah, for something that's $30, yeah, it's going to make a bunch of meals. It'll be like $1 a meal, $2 a meal. When you break it all down. You know what's in your food. You know you've cooked it. And you know it's going to be okay for you and your family to eat. Right? Because you did it yourself. But that's not everybody, and that is why we talk about all of these other things as well. Sure, I have microwave meals from time to time. I haven't been eating a lot of them lately, but sure, I mean, everybody does. Maybe not everybody, but, we point out everything. No judgment here. We show everything that from whatever you like, whatever you're having trouble finding, from food shortages to price increases to holy heck, what am I going to do now? We try to cover it all. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.